Right, I need to cancel a doctor's appointment. And the reason I'm recording this is I've plenty of experience and I know what I'm expecting to happen now, and we'll see whether it happens or not. Which is that you ring and you ring and you ring. So I've got something else I can do at the same time. I'm up to my eyes, but anyway, make sure I write down a time so I can 11:30.
The number you called is busy.
See, I was right.
Use ring back. Please press.
You can do ring back, but that's been disabled. They don't want people doing that. So we have to dial again. And my experience is again and again and again and again and again. I won't keep repeating it. And then eventually you get into a queue that has like 3 people or 4 that they've got this tiny little queue that we had the technology for decades ago, literally, because I remember I was working in Amsterdam and phoning for a taxi, and you could be like 13, 15, you could be 20 odd in the queue, it's not, and that was in the 1990s. So, we're now in the 2022. So let's try again. At least with modern phones, you can redo it.
The number you called is busy. To use ring back, please press 5.
I'll demonstrate. I can press 5.
There is normally a charge for. Sorry, ring back service cannot be used on this call.
See?
Sorry.
So basically, what you have to do is be there, ringing and ringing and ringing and ringing and ringing and ringing. I had this. I've got a different doctor here that I've registered with because I've had experience with this when my dad was basically he was dying. This is a few years ago, and there might be a carer here, and there's something that need to talk to the doctor about that they have identified. I was staying here then. This is my parents' home, but I am effectively living here now. I haven't got anywhere else to go at the moment because we, with the pandemic and with everything and with my mum's situation. Let's try again. Otherwise I'm going to miss it. The opportunity when somebody has just put down the phone, that's what you have to get. Oh.
The number you called is busy.
Okay, that's 3. And you'd be there ringing and ringing, and it did happen that they had to go. So and I'm absolutely sure it was more than one occasion, you would try ringing, it doesn't work, and it end up having to drive there to talk to somebody, which is absolutely ridiculous when you've got somebody who's basically there dying and you cannot even get through. You can't even get into a queue. So
The number you called is busy. To use.
I don't know how many I'm going to try, but I have to. There is an email address, but I don't. It's not meant for that type of thing. But in the end, that's what I'll do because got other things in life to do, and if they can't have a system. You know, this is just absolutely... I do get a bit annoyed with it because I've had this multiple times. I have to phone for my mum, or then it was my dad. And it's just, you know... And when my dad was, as he was, it was a high-stress situation, and you can't even talk to a doctor. You know, and you've got the carers there saying something, you know, that need to see what the doctor says about this. I mean, they were coming in 4 times a day, so it wasn't like there wasn't, you know, there was a big wait because they'd be back again in a bit. But even so,
The number you called is busy. Please.
five. And the thing is, they say, call at this type of time of day. I'm a little bit late for that. I mean, there's other things to do in life, you know. See, it's not like I'm sitting down watching television or something. And I've got other things that are important to be doing right now. Anyway, I said that I had something else I could do at the same time here, but it's not that easy, really.
The number you called is busy.
See, now, if my mum was here right now, she's upstairs. But if she was here right at the moment, she'd say, no, don't bother, just leave it, just leave it. And that's what people do. Anyone who's like my mum will just leave it. Never mind, it's not important. Well, okay, in this situation, it's to cancel an appointment. But that's what she would be saying if it was to make an appointment. Just leave it. It's not important. Well, even if it was important. I'm not saying she was like that when it was my dad, but, you know, even then it was, you know, give up far too easily. So I wonder how many people who are trying and they just give up and then they don't talk to a doctor because basically it's just, you know,
The number you called is busy.
seven. Let's see. The thing is, I don't really want to make this into let's see how far it goes. But what do I do? Let's at least make a start on something else. So, I've got something I can do on my phone and computer that is work. It's, you know, is work. It's not what I should be really sitting, concentrating, working on, but it is. It's something that I still need to concentrate a little. So I've got notes on here and stuff, which and things that I need to go through and send over to the computer. I'm short-sighted, so I can see close up.
The number you called is busy.
So if I can do one little tiny discrete thing, you know, there's a minimum size of something that you can do, where if you don't get to that point, essentially you have to start again when you come back to it, or so. But I can do tiny little bits here. That's why I chose to do this. Okay.
The number you called is busy.
I won't give a running commentary on what I'm doing here. I'll give a running commentary on the phoning though. Well, I am, aren't I? That's the whole point.
The number you called is busy.
That's number 10. I've got to put my glasses on, but I don't need them. Because I'm in the habit, I'm now going to look at the screen. I need my glasses for that distance, that's why. But I'm not going to look at the screen. Will be now in a moment.
The number you called is busy.
This is every time. Trying to get an appointment. On this occasion, trying to cancel one. Say, oh, we'll do it later, but the problem with cancelling one is you have to do it before the actual appointment time. So, you know, and also I will be busy later as well. Right, I now do the stuff I've sent over and do something with it at the other end.
The number you called is busy.
So what's happening now on the phone is there are lots of people calling. And the thing is, when we get through, I'll leave it to play so you can hear. There's this long message that you have to sit through. So that means that people are waiting for people to come off the phone in order to get through. But when you do get through, you have to sit there. It's not a short call, so there's this quite long call, even before you get to speak to somebody. I just want to say one thing. Please, can I cancel this appointment? But I have to sit through all this stuff, and there are people trying to get through. And so you're ringing, and it's just, you know, a lottery, because right now, somebody might have just hung up. If I rang this second, or if I'd rung a couple of seconds ago, maybe it would have started just as somebody hung up, and I get in before someone else. Or, you know, so it's just ridiculous. And somebody might have a phone that just keeps dialing and dialing and dialing. This one doesn't do that. And then somebody who's got that will get through the quickest, of course. You jump to the top of the queue, because there is no queue. Or they got a tiny queue. Sorry. But I do get frustrated with this.
The number you called is busy.
I'm not logging this as work time, though. I'd log all my time, but I can't. It's so fragmented that I'm doing something that has to be done, but even then it's such low quality because of, you know, that it's, and most of the time I'm not actually doing anything. My mind's elsewhere, and it's just, even with something as simple as copying something across, going to it, getting it out to wherever it needs to go, all that type of thing is still like a little, you know, I'm in my 60s, so there's still a bit of a hiccup, if you like, a break of the flow. It's swimming through mud, whereas if you're just doing it, you get into the flow. So even something like that, it breaks the flow and makes it all take so much longer. See, right now, I just have to think, where am I going? I'm going to an index thing here. A marketing document. And I'm going to put stuff in here, and really I'm just going to paste it in. I should be doing more than just pasting it in, but that requires a little bit of brain effort, and you know, you need a bit of focus for that. Alright, let's
called is busy. The number you called is busy.
15, if I haven't missed one. See now, I've got to get my brain in gear just for this now, because where exactly those particular notes have to go in a sensible place, even if I just paste them in as they are for the moment, and then come back to do something with them, which is what I have to do.
The number you called is busy.
I have to do washing up. I know that's not work, but it's still, I'm here with my mum, and it's something I need to, carer will be coming shortly, and I should do the washing up before the carer arrives. But then I'm going to have my hands wet and I won't be able to phone. So I'll just have to move it all if the carer arrives so they can use the sink okay. Right, but now I can delete things from here so I don't get myself confused in the future. The future could be 10 minutes time when I'm not sure, have I done that one or not? And moved it across, so. Yeah. Okay.
The number you called is busy.
So it's now saying on the phone 9:18. I'm sure it was saying when I started. I can tell by the recording anyway. But I'm sure it was before 9 o'clock. So I think that we're up to about 20 minutes now. And 10, 15, 17 attempts in 20 minutes, let's say, give or take. So now I'm looking forward because if I'm just doing something at the computer, I've got my glasses on. If I'm going back and forth like this, is my glasses on or off, or lean forward close into the computer, into the screen, relatively close.
The number you called is busy.
I should put this on YouTube, shouldn't I? I mean, that's in my mind. I've done this before and then not done anything with it because you think, well, you shouldn't really, should you? But it's just absolutely ridiculous. It really is. You know, you're going to work or something. You're driving, you pull in to make an appointment. So what, you're going to sit there for 20 minutes? Ringing and ringing and ringing. So you could say, oh, well, you don't need to call a doctor if you're going to work. Well, but you might be calling on some behalf of somebody else, as I am right now, because my mum wouldn't be able to do it. I mean, she literally would not be able to do the call. Because even if she could dial a number, she'd have difficulty hearing. Maybe she would hear, but then she has difficulty understanding. But also, there's the whole thing at the beginning. Do you want it in English and Welsh? Things like that. She gets confused with. She would never get through to a human being. So, you know.
The number you called is busy.
Oh,
To use ringback,
that's funny.
please.
But anyway, it's saying the same behind the garbledness.
called is busy. Please.
I think it's the phone. Well, that doesn't sound garbled. I'll give it another go then. I'll go and get one of the other phones to carry on with this calling the doctor saga. That's 20. Right, I can hear Mum. I'm just trying to hear if she's coming down on the... Yeah, she's coming down on the stair lift. So I might have to stop anyway for a bit. Let's get another call in before she gets down anyway. It does take a while. And then she's with her frame.
The number you called is busy.
Alright, so it wasn't garbled that time. To check.
You still there?
Yeah, I'm here, Mum. Yeah. Alright.
I couldn't believe I must have gone back to sleep,
Well, you haven't been up there all that long.
haven't I?
Not really.
Eh?
Not really. Had breakfast and that. So you might have dozed off, but, you know.
I don't know. I couldn't. I felt... I don't know. I'm not very steady at all on my feet.
No, I know. Do you want another cup of tea or something?
Yes.
All right, I'll do that. You sit down and I'll
Yeah.
do that. Let's try again and then make Mum a cup of tea.
The number you called is...
Okay, the kettle is on, so I can give it another go.
The number you called is busy.
The thing is, I know what I said about just getting in there when somebody's rung off. But it's all totally random. So, well, I don't know. That is what I am inferring is happening. Now, it might be that as time goes by, the number of people is dying off. It's bound to. Everybody first thing in the morning trying to get through, trying to get in before others, and then it's, everyone just vying, and then there are people dropping off. So the numbers ought to be going down, so the chances of getting through ought to be going up. Who knows? I can hear the kettle. I can hear Mum out there as well. Let me do one more attempt.
The number you called is...
So we're now up to about half an hour. All right, Mum. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. Have another go while letting it sound. So they've got an interrupt on top of an interrupt here. I should be working really, but that's just getting pushed back and pushed back. It's not like I'm taking time off. I'm just pushing it later and later. So I should get the washing up done. I should need to be doing this phone. So at the moment, making up a tea for my mum is interrupting me making the phone call, which is interrupting me doing some work. But there's also other things I need to be doing as well. So it's all not. Anyway, let's give this another go while that's standing. Oh, Mum's going out there again. I need to go. Let's just try it.
The number you called is busy.
Okay. 25. All right, Mum, it's just standing a moment. It's just standing a moment. Yeah, no, I'm making a cup of tea now.
It's only for boiling water in a teacup.
Yeah, I've done the boiling water. It's just standing a moment. I'll pour it out now. I don't want one, man. Thank you. Well, that's all right. I don't want a biscuit, man. Okay. At least she'd gone back out there. She was about to make herself a cup of tea. Well, I was in the middle of doing that anyway, which she didn't really remember, I think. Anyway, let's carry on.
The number you called is
At some point, I'm going to have to stop doing this, you know. Oh, I've got a message. So, where are we? What's the time now? Sorry, I'll do a voice because it takes me forever to type on this thing. No, I had to stop typing because Mum was, you know, was there and then was saying something. And I was, yeah, whatever. And then I forgot about it. No, it's just that it only picks up stuff that's close. So the things that, you know, you're going to... Anyway, I don't know what this is doing now. That did something funny then. Never mind. Okay, we'll talk later, okay? I'm right now trying to call the doctors to make... well, actually, it's to cancel an appointment for Mum. Where we're up to right now is... Because I'm logging this, and I'm making a little video. Oh, this is annoying. That stopped again. I'm logging it and making a little video. I don't suppose I'll ever do anything with it, but who knows. I've now called 26 times in just about 40 minutes. I'm also doing other things at the same time. This is a real pain. And it's just engaged. Anyway, I'll let you carry on. I don't think you're having the same problem there, are you?
the number you called is busy.
I think I've virtually decided that I am going to put this on YouTube because it's just, you know, maybe they need to be embarrassed into just getting a system with a queue, you know, or it might be that the Welsh government needs to be doing more, or somebody needs to be doing more, because this is just, you know, in a way I don't live here. I do live here now because we were renting, and because I was here with my mum and paying rent on something, and my wife, let's not go into it, but she had to go over to her family, and because I wasn't there, I lived, it's in the past now, it's over 400 miles from here, so she would have been there isolated, pandemic just getting underway, we're talking about 2 years ago, and yeah, so things are tricky, to say the least. Don't know what I was saying then.
The number you called.
Anyway, so I am living here now. It's not my home, but I'm living here. My wife is living with, staying with family. We've got all our stuff. I did spend a bit of time. I went back up to Scotland, which is where we were, and had to empty the house and everything. So I did all that. That was a bit of a nightmare, really, because we lived there for many years. Rented accommodation. That took ages. It wasn't just emptying. There was all sorts of things to sort out. And got everything into storage. Just keep trying.
The number you called is busy.
So, this is my only address down here in Cardiff, and so I did not register with the same doctor because of this, exactly because of this. It's not the problem with the doctors. The doctors there, my experience has been fine, except more recently, it's like every time we've seen someone for my mum, it's a different doctor, and they do not, it's like they don't really know what's what, they don't know her, that type of stuff. So it's not really very satisfactory, and I feel like they're not keeping any tabs. I know with, pandemic and all that, but she is, she'll be 91 any minute, and not in the best of general health, and everything. So I registered with somebody else, and a different doctor. Now, I can't say what they're like with answering the phone, because I've only phoned just a very few times, very, very few. But on the times I've phoned, the phone's been answered. I can't remember now if there was a queue, but it certainly was not engaged. But, like I say, it's a very small sample, so who knows.
Welcome to the Pennyland
There we
Surgery.
go, there we go.
All calls are recorded for training and monitoring purposes. To continue in Welsh, please
10,
press 1.
20. See, my mum wouldn't be able to do
Please press
that.
2.
She'd be asking, she'd be speaking into the
If you are
phone,
experiencing
saying,
severe chest pain,
asking
collapse, severe breathing
them to repeat
difficulties,
it, and
have one-sided weakness or slurred speech, or severe bleeding, please hang up and dial 999 immediately.
For minor conditions, your local pharmacy offers free help and advice without the need for an appointment. You might also be able to get medication free of charge.
So this is the 30th call. This is what I was saying about,
they will direct you to your GP. Please stay on the line.
This could be a very quick call,
as soon as someone
but
is available.
we have to go through all this.
The GPs have asked
So other people are waiting
about why you are calling today.
for
This will help us direct you to the
this
right
call to
person
finish.
help you, which may not always be a GP. You do not have to give this information, but it will help you and other patients to be seen more quickly and to get the
Yeah, I'm just on the phone a minute, Mum.
All calls are recorded for safety and quality purposes.
Yes.
Do you have one in here?
Well, there's only one.
Continue to hold. Your call will be answered shortly. Thank
All right,
you.
never mind.
There are 4 calls ahead of you.
See, Mum wants to use the phone now. She has difficulty with it, but she does talk to a couple of old friends a bit. It's a bit difficult, but still, they manage somehow. So now we're in the queue, and there are 4 calls in front of me. That's what I said at the beginning. They've got a queuing system. I said 3
Your
or 4.
call is important to us.
4.
Please stay on the line and a receptionist will answer your call shortly. Thank you. There are 4 calls ahead of you.
Did I say that was the 30th attempt I got through into the queue?
Your call is important to us. Please stay on the line and a receptionist will answer your call shortly. Thank you. There are 4 calls ahead of you.
Now, I think that at the other end, the receptionist... Well, I don't know, really. I've been there, and it might... I don't think they've got somebody dedicated to answering the phone. They'll be dealing with other people as well at the same time. I think. I do think. But I can't know for sure, can I, what they're doing there now. You know, are they actually talking to somebody on the phone right now? Or is the first person in the queue
Your
also
call is
waiting?
important to
I
us.
don't know.
Please stay on the line and a receptionist will answer your call shortly. Thank you. There are 4 calls ahead of you.
Well, my phone's charged now anyway, so I can unplug that.
Your call is important to us. Please stay on the line and a receptionist will answer your call shortly. Thank you. There are 3 calls ahead of you.
3, down to 3. My eyes, see, I should be looking at the camera there, and then I'm looking at you. But my face is there, so I tend to look at myself there. But I need to be in the habit of looking at you. So if I seem to be looking off to the side, like that, I'm looking at me instead of looking at you.
Your call is important to us. Please stay on the line and a receptionist will answer your call shortly. Thank you. There are 3 calls ahead of you.
It's now 9:49, so I know I've not been dialing. But I've dialed 30 times, including the one that was answered and got me into the queue. And it's 9:49, which means that this process has taken 50 minutes so far, 50 minutes. And I'm at work. I am.
Your call is important
really
to us.
at work.
Please stay on the line and a
I should
receptionist
be
will answer your call
working. Just
shortly.
because I'm
Thank
working
you.
from home doesn't mean
There are
Not
3
working.
calls ahead of you.
And I've got so much else to do. Still 3 calls ahead. Now I'm trying to get my brain in gear on what I'm doing at the same time here, which is you know, work, but I've
Your
probably,
call is important to us. Please stay on
in
the
this
line
whole time,
and a
I've probably done
receptionist will
something
answer your
like
call
5 minutes
shortly.
worth
Thank
of
you.
work, maybe slightly more.
There are 3 calls ahead of you.
You can understand now when my dad was very, in his last days, why I had to go in. And the carers here, they had, I'm trying to think now how long they were here for. I think it was an hour,
Your
4
call is
calls a
important
day.
to us. Please stay on the line and a receptionist will answer your
I
call
can't
shortly.
remember,
Thank
they
you.
weren't all the same length. I think there were 2
There
calls that
are
were an
3
hour,
calls ahead of you.
and something different, it can't be. What's happening? I'm not sure what that means.
Your call is important to us. Please stay on the line and a receptionist will answer your call shortly. Thank you. There are 2 calls ahead of you.
Hey. Strange how that has changed, isn't it? Because it wasn't, in most of the call, it wasn't doing that ringing sound. And if there are 2 calls ahead of me, then surely it doesn't mean that there is actually a phone ringing at the other end. Which is what you might think it might mean. I mean, it might be.
Your call is important to us. Please stay on the line and a receptionist will answer your call shortly. Thank you. There are 2 calls ahead of you.
But if there are 2 calls ahead, it shouldn't be ringing. It's only, it's not a big place there. Well, it's bigger than a lot of doctor's surgeries, but it's, I don't know how many doctors they've got. I'll have to look it up. It's only half a dozen, 8. I don't know.
Your call is important to us. Please stay on the line and a receptionist will answer your call shortly. Thank you.
I have no idea what I'm doing
There
here
are
now.
2 calls
Still
ahead
2.
of you. Your call is important to us. Please stay on the line and a receptionist will answer your call shortly. Thank you. There are 2 calls ahead of you. Surgery, can I help you?
Ah. Hello, I'm calling on behalf of my mother. She has an appointment today at 11:30, which I want to cancel that.
You need to cancel the appointment for today, did you say? Sorry, sir.
Yes.
Okay, can I ask the reason why the appointment's being cancelled?
Well, because the reason for making it in the first place doesn't seem to be, apply anymore, and it's very difficult as well.
Okay, so is the appointment with the doctor or with the nurse?
It's for blood.
It's for blood.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
But it was in relation to, and she hasn't been complaining of that for a number of days now. So.
Sorry, what was the name again? What's the date of birth, please? Right, the appointment was yesterday.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I had the wrong thing down. Okay, I'm cancelling yesterday's appointment. Sorry. Okay.
Right, so you want to cancel it completely?
Well, I'm not sure what the reason, and it's very, very difficult to come in as well. So,
Yeah.
unless there's a real reason, it's.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so when obviously when she needs bloods done again, just she'll need obviously to speak to the doctor, but otherwise. Okay, that's not a problem.
Right.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
No problem. Thank you very much for bringing us.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
The appointment was for yesterday.